This is my only intro because of my special family connection. My dad's from Virginia, Minnesota, the sister city of Eveleth, the Iron Range of Minnesota with all those great hockey players. John Mayasich. My dad always called him Johnny Mayasich, the best hockey player who ever laced up his skates, Mayasich. And voted the #1 hockey player in the history of hockey in Minnesota. Our only silver medal, gold medal winner here tonight. Silver medal in 1956. 1960, he was on the gold medal team that won at Squaw Valley, the team Herb Brooks unfortunately did not make. John Mayasich won the state tournament 4 years in a row. Never lost a game in high school. Minnesota has some incredible hockey teams. He's still the leading scorer at the University of Minnesota, the all-time leading scorer. And so John Mayasich may be a name you haven't heard or known, but tonight you're going to meet the hockey player my dad always said was the best that ever played in Minnesota. We are so honored to have, from Eveleth, Minnesota, where the Hockey Hall of Fame is, John Mayasich.
He didn't say my age. Yeah. How do you like these colors? So you'll say why? Minnesota was maroon and gold. My hometown, Eveleth, maroon and gold. I was 8, 9 years old peddling papers till I was a senior in high school. And my favorite baseball team, the Pittsburgh Pirates, think of that. So we didn't have television. We never listened to pirate baseball. Why did I pick Pittsburgh? I still, no reason. So here I am. Been to every city in the U.S., country in the world almost. Never been to Pittsburgh. So Croatia, Pittsburgh, right here. Think of them. So 5 minutes I've got. They said because of my age I got 6. Yeah. So my son Danny had an outline for me. What am I at, 4 minutes? Number 1, I can't read it. Number 2, I won't follow it, so Croatia, Ma and Pa, born by Ogulin, a little village, 3 miles apart from each other. They didn't know each other. One was a Mayasich, one was a Polkovich. Guess where they met? How many years later? In Eveleth, Minnesota. My mother had a cousin that had a rooming house in Eveleth for these single miners. And, you know, cooked for them, washed their clothes. And Pa, 17 years old, a miner, you know, stayed at the boarding house. So he meets Ma. So my Ma and Pa, legal immigrants back then, went to Ellis Island, had sponsors, and they had jobs when they, you know, it's a little different than what we're seeing today. So here I am representing them. And what I might have accomplished, you know, and it wasn't shooting a hockey puck. God, that's, you know, that's what you hear. But it, being one of 11 kids, think of that. Ma never went to school. No reading, no writing, nothing. Pa had an eighth grade education, 11 in the family. Think of that. And what did they work their lifetime for us, you know, family? So never saw me play hockey, never went to a game. And I played 4 years of hockey, 3 of football, 4 of baseball. I went to the state in tennis, wasn't on the team, you know, but I played ping pong growing up, so kind of like tennis. And I high jumped. I went to the state, I wasn't on the team, so I'm not bragging about my ability, sports ability. And I told my family, I said, but what I had that nobody else had was those Croatian genes. Think of that. And what it meant. And why I'm here tonight. So I'm accepting on their behalf, Ma and Pa, and what they did, what they sacrificed, what they gave up for us, for me, for family. Brothers and sisters, we didn't have a garage. Our garage in Eveleth, think of this, was a barn. We had a cow, we had a pig, we had chickens, we had gardens all over town, you know, outside of town. No car. How did we make it? How, you know, the sacrifice. Yeah. We didn't even have a wagon to fall off of, right? Yeah. But, so believe me, so and I look back, and it's why me? And I'm doing a book. The kids are on my butt, yeah. So when are you going to do it? I said, I'll wait till I get older. So so I'm going to do a book, and they give me 5 minutes. What am I at? No, I'm not. So it's not me, it's family, it's parents, it's, so again, I have to say, what did I have that the other kids didn't have? And later on in life, I caught the biggest fish, I killed the biggest elk. I did, you know, why? Horseshoes, I beat anybody here in horseshoes. But as a young kid, I used to watch the good players, how they held it, how they released it. I never had a hockey coach growing up. And they say I invented the slap shot. I think you know what that is. Yeah. Some kid from Michigan, Tomlanovich, somebody from Michigan, said he played, he was a freshman at the University of Michigan, early 50s. He saw a Canadian kid do a slap shot. And I worked in the summer with Eichel, a goalie. And he showed me, I said, well, what do you mean? So he showed me how to do it, you know. So I worked on that when I went back to the U as a sophomore and spent hours on a slap shot. And I wouldn't aim at the net, I would aim at the pipes. So that's me with, you know, so it kind of came naturally after, but, so these are things, never had a coach. My first pair of new skates, guess when I got them? The University of Minnesota, as a freshman. So I gave them my shoe size. What the hell do I never had a new pair of skates? They're usually a size and a half smaller. And they said, God, you're not skating like you did, you know, stuff. So first hockey stick, I never had a new stick. We used to get broken ones, get tin cans and wrap them around tape. Oh, God. So that's how, yeah. So look how it is today. I've got grandkids that got $200 skates at 5 years old. Yeah. So, but it wasn't me, it was our neighborhood on my Summit Street. There were 17 hockey players that got Division I scholarships at colleges and universities. Just think of that. Yeah. But we learned as kids, we didn't have television, remember that. No cell phones. We went home to eat and sleep, and that was it. So, different culture today. So my advice to parents, don't push, follow. And I think you know what I'm saying. It's, don't force them into these sports. I believe in playing all the sports if you can. And if nowadays, if you can afford to play. But, so we were lucky. Born in a good time with parents who donated their life that I could be up here today. And I thank all of you and the association for the induction, and it's special to me. So of all the Hall of Fames I've been involved with and inducted to or in, one of my favorites, back probably in the 80s or 90s, I was the first Minnesotan inducted into the Minnesota High School Hall of Fame, high school athletes. Guess who was inducted with me? From Pennsylvania. Anybody? Okay, he was a golfer. Arnold Palmer, yeah. God. So what a thrill. I look back today, I think of all the people I've met, and it was Arnold Palmer. And he said, John, when I grew up in, what the city? Latrobe. He said we had little ponds, rivers, and we used to cut tree branches that were curved like a hockey stick. I said, bullshit, it was like a golf club. Give me that. So he did this. He played, I'll never forget it. And, so that was special. And that was Pennsylvania, So these things I remember. Yeah, so anyway, enough said. Thank you again. Yeah. So. And believe me, for a lot of you out there, it wasn't your skill or abilities, it was the Croatian genes that made you who you are and why you're here. Good.
John Mayasich. Congratulations, just Stephen. You're a good speaker. You got people laughing and enjoying it. Okay.
Stay right there for a second, John. Before you leave there, John, how are you supposed to follow that? It's like following Johnny Carson.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
We had the first one in Cleveland. When you're in Pittsburgh, I don't care who you root for, you're a Steeler fan right there, every one of our inductees. And those terrible towels and those Steeler hats are courtesy right there of the man, Kevin Colbert, 21 years with the Steelers as their general manager. He put together a team that won 2 Super Bowl championships and 9 division titles. Kevin, thank you for the terrible towel. He's here to support his friend, Tim Gergerich. I have 16 terrible towels at home. Camouflage, black, pink, fur, everything. I got them all. God, I love the Steelers.